Welcome to Campus News 24. We are broadcasting from the heart of our news hub here at the Ghana Institute of Journalism, 32nd Gamal Abdul Nasser Street, Accra. My name is Fritz Delanyo Amegashi. Coming up in the headlines, former ambassador to Sierra Leone calls on students to put society first while pursuing academic education. Tone for general election set as EC rolls out nomination. We'll be having a conversation with my colleague who have just returned from that press conference. Earlier this week, SRC launches annual week celebration. We'll also be bringing you some commentary from an interview my colleague had with the former Deputy Commissioner of the SRC. Do stay. Now to our first story. Former ambassador to Sierra Leone, Gabriel Blay Ameye, has advised students not to neglect the needs of society while pursuing higher academic education. Addressing the fourth congregation of the School of the Graduate Studies and Research at the Ghana Institute of Journalism, the former ambassador noted the significant role the society plays in shaping the academic lives of students.
Speaking under the name Promoting Development Through Graduate Education in Media and Communication, former ambassador to Sierra Leone, His Excellency Gabriel Blay Ameye, called on students to prioritize the needs of society while pursuing higher academic education.
In many ways, it is not so much your enemy, but your sense of responsibility to your community, your good Samaritan spirit, to love not only your neighbors, but even your enemies. That will ignite the fire and zeal to serve society in you. With your higher education and broader consciousness about development, take advantage of the expanding media landscape to make your light shine on society, to bring about development to all.
He also charged students to put a practical meaning to their postgraduate degrees.
You see, there are many cases where people have not had the chance to be in a classroom as you are, and yet they have gone and made an impact. And that's why I gave an example of someone like Kofi Bako, Gwenema. They didn't have degrees, but in spite of that, because they had a heart, like the good Samaritan, they had that patriotic feeling. They give so much to Ghana.
Best students in various fields of studies were awarded with laptops and souvenirs from sponsors. Some of them spoke to Campus News 24.
Especially with a lot for me is a lot for my work, and I'm just proud of myself. It's been great. But because church is one of the best journalism schools in the world, look, no matter how small the size is, it's the best. That's the fact. There's no other institution outside that does journalism. They do communication, but here is the best, and it's the best. And I wouldn't prefer anywhere else than my school.
My advice is that you should work hard. And life is not about trying to win. To win a good person, working in a team, and putting your best effort. And of course, God has given a talent, and you do what the talent can achieve. So do the best that you can be. And if the best you can be wins me an award, be happy about it.
Overall, 213 students graduated with Masters in Journalism, Public Relations, Media Management and Media Development.
Student Representative Council of the Ghana Institute of Journalism has earlier this week launched its 2019 SRC Week celebration to commence activities ahead of the celebration. The week-long celebration is aimed at helping students unwind from academic pressure. Speaking at the launch, Organizing Secretary Nana Oforiapa details some activities marking the celebration.
Basically, this whole week celebration is about promoting tourism through communication. And so on Monday, which is today, we started with the launch, which is still ongoing, and the Talk About Ghana conference. So we're going to have a tete-a-tete with students to know what comes to mind, even when we talk about Ghana. And so after that, today is going to be a bit quiet. Tomorrow we're going to have the inter-hall quiz competition, which is going to start around 3 p.m. To know who is who. We've been bragging a lot, all the halls have been bragging that they are the best. And so we want to know who is actually who, and when it comes to Ghana and about things about Ghana. On Sunday we're having a Thanksgiving. Thursday we're having the open mic session and a palm wine night, which is going to be very interesting because we've got people already interested, people already working, like rehearsing to give out their best. And on Friday as well, we're having the artist night, which we're about to do something that we've never seen before.
We decided to partner the GIJ SRC due to the fact that the president himself, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has been very keen on promoting tourism in order to reach out to people of African descent to return home in order to invest in the economy. Okay. So the Ghana Tourism Authority deemed it wise to partner with the GIJ SRC to be able to project it amongst the student front.
Still on the subject of SRC, former Deputy Electoral Commissioner Mr. Clement Kumsa has advised successive electoral commissioners to make vetting periods a time to get proper leaders who would serve the student meaningfully to end what he calls fornication spree. He made this known on the STN GIJ affairs hosted by Samuel Swansea Bafo.
When somebody win election, the person should work in that particular line. Okay. Then come to tell me, give me hostel. I was not sleeping in kiosks before we contested elections. I was in the house. Yeah. So maybe having a hostel, not having, shouldn't be your problem. But we benefit doing something to benefit the students is always the key. Okay. Enough of the quote unquote fornication spree. Let's go and chill, and let's use the money to something that will benefit us.
To some other SRC story. Former SRC presidential candidate of the Ghana Institute of Journalism, Orlando Teta, is accusing the current administration for doing little to improve the lot of students on campus. In an exclusive interview, he said that the president has failed in his attempts to deliver on his promise to the GIJ people.
I think that I can't rate the SRC. They are unrateable. I can't rate them.
You can't rate them for right reasons or wrong?
I think that for both. For both the good and the bad reasons, because as an SRC, I think that there were things that people saw from them and they actually expected a lot. But if you ask most students, you know, the expectations have not been met. We were expecting and projecting very, you know, people when I was campaigning way, but people said I was overambitious, that, you know, most of the policies that I had, you know, suggested that I was telling lies. But even those that they claimed they had to believe their policies, today what have they done? That is the question that we should ask ourselves. The basic things, the simple things that, you know, students need, you're not getting it. And you ask yourself, am I part of this SRC? I'm paying dues, and if you don't pay your dues, you are not being allowed to register. It's rather unfortunate. It's a sad situation that we have an SRC that has not invented anything in terms of its social policies, in terms of academic interventions, and so many other things that confront the student populace. They have not come to the party. They have not shown leadership enough. The kind of SRC that I would have loved for GIG students to see, you know, we are not seeing it. And the ones that they themselves expected to see, they are not seeing it. It's rather unfortunate. But we really pray for the spirit of the ancestors to follow us, and we pray that, you know, the next person that would take power would come and do something better. Otherwise, then I'm sorry that, you know, if this is how leadership is going to be at this level, then I cry for the future.
As you may know, the tone for this election has already been set. Earlier today, we had a press conference organized by the Electoral Commissioner to roll out some information. We just had a colleague who was returned from that press conference. We'll have a conversation on the back of that. Hello to you. You're welcome. You just returned from the press conference. What do we know?
So nominations have been opened, and you pick the form at 100 Ghana cedis and you file at 900 Ghana cedis if you are presidential aspirant. But for the other portfolios, like the general secretary, like the organizing secretary, you pick at 100 Ghana cedis and file at 800 Ghana cedis, which is the same price as at last year's one.
Right. There are also news flying around that there's a logo change and other things. Is it true? Can you confirm that?
So during the press conference, an aspirant made it known that there has been a logo change, and he prompted the EC chair. And the EC chair did indeed confirm that there was a logo change, and a whole lot of things went on in there. But right after the press conference, he came back stating that they weren't going to use the new logo as stipulated at the press conference, which, you know, two sides in there now.
Right. So any other issues they discussed?
So the deadline for, you know, filing of the forms, in as much as you pick it, you have just 6 days to bring it back. So the deadline, which filing opens today. The deadline is 21st March, 12 p.m. Exactly. No bend, no care.
Right, thank you very much, Abel. So that was my colleague Abel, who's just returned from the press conference and filling us in on every bit and piece of information that was there. Now let's move our way to other news. Still on the SRC. As part of activities marking this year SRC Week celebration, a day that Wear Ghana has been observed to encourage the wear of made in Ghana clothes from several shades of dresses, shirts, shorts, caps. Students were spotted rocking their favorite Ghanaian clothes. Campus News 24 caught up with some students to pick their brains on what the day meant for them.
To accept the fact that we should use our made in Ghana products. Looking around, we see a whole lot of students, workers, people of the country wearing Western, clothing, and I think it doesn't really speak well of us. We need to adapt to what we have, buy made in Ghana products, wear it, because all these things is going to affect the economy of the country some way, somehow.
I think that as Ghanaians, as Africans, we should project our made in Ghana clothing especially. There have been times that I've seen many people in Western clothing that I think that it's not right. At least we are Ghanaians, we should portray the kind of Ghanaian culture that we have. So putting on made in Ghana clothing is very much important. So I think that for me, it is very good to feel African, to be African, to wear African clothing and stuff like that.
It's a great thing to do. Wearing Ghana, it's Ghana. I mean, everything Ghana. We have to promote our culture. We have to let the people out there see that this is who we are as Ghanaians, and that we should promote whatever we have.
We need to promote our own, and our fabrics are our own. So we need to get people to wear them. And yes, I recommend people to wear African fabric because it's colorful. You don't need to match it like with something compulsory. Like how you have to match your white shirt with probably a black shoe or a brown shoe. But then yeah, you can match with anything, any color. So yes, I feel it's a good choice for anyone.
Now to some graduation story. Former head of production at Multi TV and lecturer at NAFTI, Mr. Eugene Odame, has won Best Student in Media Management at the just ended 4th Congregation of the School of Graduate Studies and Research here at the Ghana Institute of Journalism. Campus News 24 caught up with him.
At Multi TV for 6 years in managerial position, because I was the head of production and later the head of technical production. And I thought that this course was going to add more to my skill and knowledge. Currently, I teach at NAFTI. I teach producing and production management. So I thought this course was going to help me to be able to impart knowledge and skills to my students, as well as help me in my professional career. This is my second master's, and because I was away from school for almost 6 years working at Multi TV, I thought that I needed a course to push me up because I have to pursue my doctorate very soon. So GIJ course in media management and also being a 15 months program for me was suitable. So that's why I chose GIJ media management program.
Former Deputy Director of Ghana Tourist Development Company, Ohiniba Ekwia-Manfo, known in media circles as Black Coffee, has stated that she pursued her master's certificate out of boredom and frustration.
You know what, I'm really excited. You know, I had no intention of doing my MA. My father wanted me to do my MA years ago. I got my first degree in '93, but last year, out of boredom and frustration, I embarked on MA. So today, I'm really proud of myself, and I dedicate this moment to my dad. You know, I'm thinking of my dad so much at this moment in time. GIJ students, you are the next generation. Don't think going to school to just buy certificates is okay. I know some people just come to buy certificates. Actually learn. It's your benefit to learn. It's the benefit of Ghana for you to learn. It's not good to let someone else do your thesis. So make the most of this opportunity. That's what I'll tell you.
We take leave of you, a recap of our headlines. Former ambassador to Sierra Leone calls on students to put society first while pursuing higher academic education. Tone for 2018-2019 GIJ election set. We brought you a conversation with my colleague where he filled in on what happened at the press conference organized earlier today. SRC earlier this week launches annual week celebration, and of course we had the deputy former commissioner saying that enough of fornication spree with SRC dues. My name is Fritz Delano Megashi. Thanks for your company.